It was a quiet night. One of those nights where the silence is so deep you can hear the hum of the refrigerator from downstairs. Everyone else in the house was asleep. I was alone in my room, just me and the glow of my phone, scrolling endlessly through social media feeds. The usual stuff, you know, memes, vacation photos, political rants. Just another Tuesday. Then, my phone buzzed. Not the familiar chime of a text from a friend, but a sharp, single vibration. A message appeared on the screen from an unknown number. Just 3 words. I see you. I laughed it off. Of course. It had to be a prank. Maybe a friend got a new number and was trying to mess with me. I typed back, "Who is this?" and hit send. No reply. I shrugged, put my phone down on the nightstand, and decided it was time to sleep. But sleep didn't come easy. My mind kept circling back to that message. It was probably nothing, but still. It was weird. Primera turned over, trying to find a comfortable position, when a sudden flicker of light caught my eye. It was my laptop, on my desk across the room. I'd closed it hours ago, but now the screen was alive. Images I didn't recognize flashed across it, too fast to really process. But I caught one. A face. Pale, with wide, staring eyes. I blinked, rubbing my eyes, and just like that, it was gone. The screen was black again. My heart was hammering in my chest. I told myself it was just a glitch. A software update, maybe. Yeah, that had to be it. My laptop was old anyway. It was time for a new one. I pulled the covers up to my chin and forced my eyes shut, trying to push the image of that face out of my head. The next day, the sun was shining, and the strange events of the previous night felt like a bad dream. I decided to distract myself. I was browsing the App Store, looking for a new game or something, when I stumbled upon an app with a sleek, minimalist icon. It promised to enhance your reality. The description was vague, full of buzzwords like augmented experience and digital overlay. It had thousands of 5-star reviews. Curiosity got the better of me. I hit download. The installation was quick. I opened it, and it asked for permission to access my camera, microphone, and location. Standard stuff. I granted them all without a second thought. At first, everything seemed normal. The app just showed my room through the camera, with a few subtle, shimmering effects. Kinda cool, but not life-changing. I messed with it for a few minutes, and then forgot about it. That evening, I was making dinner when my phone buzzed. It was a notification from the new app. But it wasn't a message, not in the usual sense. It was a command. Look behind you. I froze, a chill running down my spine. This was just like the text from last night. I laughed nervously. It's just the app, Primera told myself. It's part of the enhanced reality game. I slowly turned around. Of course, the kitchen was empty. Just the ticking of the clock on the wall. Still, the feeling lingered. A prickling sensation on the back of my neck. The distinct, unnerving feeling of being watched. I shook my head, trying to clear it. I was letting this get to me. It was just a stupid app. But as I turned back to the stove, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching me from inside my own devices. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every little sound made me jump. I decided to open the app again, to prove to myself that it was just a harmless game. I pointed my phone camera around the dark room. Everything looked normal through the screen. I turned the camera around to selfie mode, just to check my reflection, make sure I didn't look as spooked as I felt. And that's when I saw it. It wasn't my reflection. Staring back at me from my phone's screen was a face. It was the same one from the laptop glitch, pale, with hollow eyes. And this time, it had a grin, a wide, unnatural grin that stretched from ear to ear. I yelped and dropped my phone on the bed. It landed screen up. The grinning face still staring at me. I scrambled away, pressing myself against the headboard, my heart pounding like a drum against my ribs. My first instinct was to get rid of it. I snatched the phone, my hands trembling, and navigated to my settings. I found the app and jabbed my finger on the uninstall button. A confirmation box popped up. "Are you sure you want to delete this app?" I hit yes, but nothing happened. The app icon just wiggled on the screen. I tried again, and again. It wouldn't go. On the third try, the face appeared again, filling the entire screen, seeming closer this time, more defined. And then I heard it. A voice, a dry, raspy whisper that seemed to come from the phone's speaker itself. "Why are you leaving?" it said. I threw the phone across the room. It hit the wall with a crack and fell to the floor, but the screen didn't break. It stayed lit, the pale, grinning face watching me from the carpet. After that, all hell broke loose. It wasn't just my phone anymore. It was everything. I was in the living room, trying to watch a movie to calm my nerves, when my smart TV suddenly turned on by itself. It didn't go to the home screen or a channel. It just showed static, but in the swirling black and white, I could almost make out a face. Then my smart speaker in the kitchen started acting up. It began repeating my name, over and over, in a distorted, robotic voice. "Alex, Alex, Alex." I unplugged it, but the voice continued for a few seconds after, faint and echoing. My phone, which I had cautiously retrieved and placed on the counter, started ringing. The screen showed an unknown number. You let it ring too terrified to answer. It stopped, and a moment later, a new notification appeared from that cursed app. "You can't hide." The haunting spread like a virus through my digital life. Even my old, forgotten devices weren't safe. I had an old tablet in a drawer, one I hadn't turned on in years. It suddenly powered on, its screen glowing from under a pile of old papers. The grinning face was on its screen, too. The ghost, or whatever it was, seemed to be able to move through any network, any device with a screen and a circuit board. My smartwatch would vibrate, showing a single, staring eye on its tiny display. The digital clock on the microwave would flash random numbers before briefly showing the time as Y. Every beep, every flash of light from any electronic device became a signal, a reminder. It was always there, watching me. I felt like a prisoner in my own home, surrounded by 1,000 digital eyes. I was at my wit's end. I had to do something. The next morning, I called tech support for my phone's manufacturer. I tried to explain what was happening, trying to sound as sane as possible. The guy on the other end was patient at first. He walked me through a factory reset. It didn't work. The app was still there. When I tried to describe the face, the whispers, the feeling of being watched, he started to sound amused. He told me it must be a sophisticated piece of malware or a very elaborate prank. "Malware doesn't whisper your name, man," I said, my voice cracking. He laughed. He actually laughed. He suggested I take my phone to a service center and hung up. I felt completely alone. No one would believe me. This wasn't malware. This wasn't a prank. This was something else entirely. Something old and malevolent that had found a new way to haunt. Defeated, I sat on my couch, surrounded by my traitorous technology. The TV showed static. The tablet on the coffee table showed the grinning face. My phone buzzed on the cushion next to me. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't stop myself. And then, it happened. Every single screen in the house lit up at the exact same moment. The TV, the laptop, the phone, the tablet, my smartwatch, even the microwave display. They all flickered and then displayed the same message in stark, white letters against a black background. Disconnect or stay forever. It was an ultimatum. A warning. The words hung in the air, a silent, terrifying threat. It wanted me to choose, cut myself off from the world, or become a permanent part of its digital prison. That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. A surge of desperate energy shot through me. I jumped up and ran to the wall, yanking the TV plug with all my strength. I scrambled to my desk, ripping the power cord from my laptop out of the socket. I ran through the house like a madman, unplugging everything. The smart speaker, the microwave, the Wi-Fi router, every charger, every lamp. I went to the breaker box in the garage and flipped the main switch. plunged, the entire house went dark and silent, a profound, absolute silence that I hadn't experienced in days. No hums, no beeps, no whispers, just the sound of my own ragged breathing in the pitch-black darkness. I slid down the wall, relief washing over me. It was over. I was free. Or so I thought. I sat there in the dark for what felt like an eternity, just savoring the silence. The absence of light and electricity was a comforting blanket. Finally, I thought, it's done. I won. I slowly got to my feet, my eyes gradually adjusting to the faint moonlight filtering through the windows. As Primera stood up, I felt something in my pocket. My phone. I'd forgotten about it. In the chaos, I hadn't unplugged it, because it didn't have a plug. Its battery was its own power. With a trembling hand, I pulled it out. The screen was black, powered down from the factory reset I'd attempted. I stared into the dark, reflective surface. It was like a black mirror, and in it, I saw my own reflection. My face, pale and terrified in the moonlight. But I wasn't alone. Standing right behind me, peering over my shoulder in the reflection, was a pale face, and it was smiling. I never touched another smart device after that night. I live off the grid now, as much as anyone can. No smartphone, no computer, no internet. People think I'm eccentric. A lot. They don't understand. They can't. They're all still plugged in, scrolling, tapping, swiping. They don't see the faces and the glitches. They don't hear the whispers and the static, but I know it's still out there. Somewhere in the vast, invisible network of wires and signals that connects us all. It waits. It watches through 1 billion glass eyes. And it's waiting for someone else to download the wrong app. Waiting for someone else to stay forever. So next time your screen flickers, or you get a message from an unknown number, just be careful. You never know who's watching. Thanks for listening.